current alumni. Our alumni are current, former heads of government or chiefs of state, including leaders from approximately 1/4 of the United Nations member countries. I think we're at 51 current heads of state that are alum of the program, something we're very proud of. Now, many of these heads of state are passionate about the IVLP and their experience, and I'm going to share with you a quote from President Sarkozy of France. He wrote in a letter that is currently on our website. He said, "The program is a testament to the vitality and importance of citizen diplomacy, which means that beyond the borders of a country, each citizen may legitimately advance our ideals and values through meetings and exchanges. And these are the democratic values that the French and the Americans hold so dear." The program has been so impactful and means so much to our overseas counterparts that 7 heads of state, several of them who have been through the program, took the time to record a message for the national meeting that was held in February for the National Council of International Visitors. We celebrated our 70th anniversary, and we're actually closing out the year this December. NCIV celebrated its 50th. So it was really, really touching to have those messages. As further evidence that we know how to spot a leader, this year's Nobel Prize for Peace winner went to an IVLP alum, Takawa Karman of Yemen, who participated in an investigative journalism program in 2005. This is my favorite example, though. There's a BBC article that was published in March of this year that has many experts acknowledging the power of the IVLP. The BBC magazine even titled the article, "How Do You Spot an Emerging Leader?" In the final paragraph, it states, "Whatever your view of the program, one truth remains unquestionable. Our future elite are still out there, and if anyone can find them, Americans know how to do this." The article quotes from many former visitors, including some who came in as skeptics but left as supporters. One British professor said, "The program succeeds because it comes with no strings attached, which overcomes many of the skeptical invitees and allows them to feel immune from accusations of possible manipulation." Again and again, IVLP has really been ahead of the curve in terms of recognizing emerging leaders. When participants return to their home countries, they often conduct media interviews, speak at events, talk to university students, talk to their neighbors, their work colleagues about their American experience in the exchange program. They keep in touch with those they met and sometimes build new business relationships or friendships based on that exchange, and it benefits both of our countries. So it's really critically important that we keep this momentum going. Key decision makers, journalists, civil society activists around the world gain a more thorough understanding of the United States through the International Visitor Leadership Program. I have an example of a group from Pakistan who were in the Midwest when reports of the Osama bin Laden death in Pakistan broke in the news. One of the participants said, "I cannot explain the experience that we had. It was truly marvelous. I never expected an American family would welcome us so warmly. Simply put, my misperceptions were changed, as were theirs. We never felt that the incident in Pakistan was the focal point. This gave us the idea that Americans are different than we had expected. I intend to share my changed perceptions with my family in my office when I get back home." So here, a great example. Their program was exceptional. The professional program was exceptional. But what they took back to their families and their colleagues was the experience that they had with their American hosts. It was those informal conversations over dinner. And in this case, it was a small town in Illinois. So we're all here because we care about public diplomacy, and I also want to encourage you, as Kyle did, to get involved or stay involved, and if you are involved, recruit some more. The program creates real bonds with people all over the world, many who achieve positions of leadership in their home country, as we started the program with tonight. And it's these people-to-people relationships that form the basis of a continuing dialogue between the United States and citizens around the world. I'm going to continue on that Pakistani story. So our Middle East projects, as you can imagine, have been important strategic mission to the U.S. When it comes to defining where our visitors come from, Pakistan and Iraq are both in the top 3. Anybody care to guess who the third country is? It's actually China. So, though not always immediate, again, what may surprise you is that the IVLP does change perceptions. One skeptical journalist returned home and wrote an op-ed in which he said, "If you're planning on visiting the U.S., just do it. Contrary to the belief that the U.S. is not a friendly nation, when you first step into this faraway land, you will be warmly greeted and welcomed by its people." So these perception-altering interactions are why citizen diplomats enjoy being part of the IVLP family. We also, as a result of this program, really increase our capacity and give us a competitive edge as a country. Special programs like the New Beginning Project, which was hosted here in Arizona, is testament to that. And we do projects on all topics, but we also had a pretty impressive group of African women who were entrepreneurs. And they brought back incredible partnerships through public-private partnerships as a result of the program. One of the women from last year's African project, her name was Flotea Masawe, later, after the program, entered a trade deal with an American fashion designer, Rachel Roy. And as a result, this partnership has allowed this alum to share her textile designs and fabrics that Rachel Roy is now using in her clothing line that is featured in select Macy's stores throughout the U.S. Over the last year, Flotea also used this experience to train over 1,000 Tanzanian women in government, private and nonprofit sectors, and has since secured trade partnerships with several other foreign countries, including the UK, New Zealand, and Japan. Now, how's that for impact, huh? So it's not only through these specific types of programs that we can take an economic advantage, and it can be found. Really, our IVLP projects are designed to open doors between the U.S. and societies around the world. And I want to note something that Sherry often notes, that the benefits of this program often expand generations. We have many teachers that come on our programs. They come and they look and they study our design and our systems, and they return to their classrooms, with new ideas, new energy, and new motivation. The more positive relationships that we build, the greater economic opportunities for both the U.S. and our partners. I want to take a few minutes to talk about what we do at the State Department at a larger level. So I am the director of the Office of International Visitors. We're housed in the Bureau for Educational and Cultural Affairs, which serves at the State Department as a public diplomacy arm. And, my lane is professional exchanges, but we host many other types of exchanges: academic, cultural, sports, youth exchange programs. In fact, the Bureau runs over 140 programs in more than 190 countries, and many of the other exchange programs offer grants to organizations like the Arizona CIV to administer an exchange program. So if you're interested, I encourage you to take a look at our website, exchanges.state.gov. So the mission for the Bureau of ECA is pretty straightforward: to build lasting partnerships for the United States around the world. And the Bureau does this with a budget of only $600 million. From that, the State Department's exchange program hosts 50,000 participants every year. All told, there are more than 1 million alumni of ECA programs. This means that there are 1 million people out there who have a connection to the United States. Now, nearly 200,000 of them are IVLP alum. Our statistics indicate that 99% of our foreign participants in ECA programs leave with a better understanding of the U.S., and 95% of them sustain and remain in contact with their professional counterparts. So you're critical to building and sustaining these relationships. Now, we all watch the news and know that it's no surprise that our budget for 2012, the outlook is a little bit gray. However, I choose to think that there's promise ahead and reason for optimism, because there's few programs that give Congress and the American people the return on investment that ECA programs provide. And you and all of our partners and volunteers really help share that message. Kyle plays an important role in that whole effort, and I thank you for that leadership. So in the end, we're all part of this IVLP experience. Even though there are concerns over the budget, the future of ECA and our work has never been more exciting. With the introduction of social media, or Exchanges 2.0, it's really revolutionizing the interactions and relationships that we build around the world. Secretary Clinton calls it smart power, or 21st century statecraft. We're seeing it unfold in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya now. We're programming projects for them, and it's really exciting to be on the ground floor. We do have a Twitter account and a Facebook account and a YouTube channel, and we have our own social network at the State Department. In fact, just last week, I don't even know, Sheriff, you know this, we launched our Twitter account, so you can follow us at State IVLP. Some of our IVLP programs, like the 100 Women Project, which is a great project, it was to honor the 100th anniversary of the International Women's Day, and the New Beginning Project that I talked to you a little bit about earlier show that we can create lasting partnerships through these social networking mechanisms. And we've been able to stay in touch with and see the long-term impact of these programs because of these networking sites. So, you know, in the end, our results are clear and consistent, and they last for generations. This enables not only you, but your successors and your successors' successors to have strong international networks in countries that will make headlines in the coming generations. When key foreign policy initiatives are being implemented, we already have friends and established networks on the ground. We're building the foundation that helps the State Department engage today's people to solve tomorrow's challenges. Congressman Quayle, one of your colleagues in the House, Congressman Jim Moran of Virginia, understands this well. He recently made a plea on the Huffington Post op-ed last week where he mentioned the value of the IVLP program. In the article, he states, "The value of the network of which these institutions are a part lift up every person struggling to achieve a more just world." So even in today's Washington, I personally appreciate, and I know that we all appreciate, the public display of support from all sides, from both sides of the aisle. Here in Arizona, I want to thank Congressman Quayle, who I'm excited to hear from next, for being here, for supporting our efforts. I know that he was part of the British parliamentarian group that came, and it was very exciting for them. Again, I want to thank you for inviting me, and for all of us at the State Department, a special thanks to all of you who support our mission. I'm really looking forward to an exciting year in Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alma. Inspiring words, to say the least. It's truly an honor and a privilege to introduce Congressman Ben Quayle to our group this evening. For many years, Sue would call upon me and others who have a bit of political connection in Arizona to help with specific programs that are associated with federal issues, state issues, municipal issues. And for many years, Congressman Shadegg had always been a great friend of our organization. And with his retirement this last election cycle, it really turned our organization on its side to a certain extent. We didn't know who our friends and supporters would be. There were a lot of changes, as many of you know, politically within our state, so it created a great deal of uncertainty for our organization. But I have to tell you that I was very, very pleased when I had learned that Congressman Quayle had hired former Congressman Shadegg's Deputy District Director, James Ashley, who had hosted dozens of international visitors for us over the years. And soon after Congressman Quayle's election, James